morning, all
Good
of you.
morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning, beta. So today we will continue with the English grammar chapter, non-finites. Okay, so we have seen that already seen what are finite verbs and what are non-finite verbs. So who will tell me the difference between finite verbs and non-finite verbs?
Ma'am, Iram.
Yes, Aram.
Ma'am, can I tell concept?
Myra.
Ma'am, ma'am, finite verbs change with the change of tenses and prepositions and
Not prepositions.
ma'am, subject.
Yes, they change
Ma'am, can I tell?
according to the tense.
Can
Tense is
I tell
correct.
Ma'am, can I tell Myra?
Yes, Myra, tell.
Ma'am, Ma'am, finite verb change according to the numbers and the person of the subject.
Alright, so they change the finite verbs, they change according to the
Tenses of the sentence.
number
Ma'am,
and
tense of the
person. Number and person, and according to the tense of the sentence. Whereas the infinite verbs, they do not change. Alright, and we have seen that there are three types of non-finite verbs: the infinitive, the gerund, and the participle. So we have had a look at the infinitive and the gerund. Let's continue. Page 26. Now we have comparison between the infinitive and the gerund. Now both the infinitives and the gerunds can function as noun in a sentence. If you just turn back and see the functions of infinitive, now it can act as a subject of the verb also, and also the object of a verb. So obviously that means it acts as a noun. It very clearly shows that it can act as a noun also. So both, and gerund we have already seen that it is the gerund, it functions as a noun in a sentence and it always ends in ing. So gerund will end in ing and it acts as a noun. And now this also infinitive, now this can also act as a noun in a sentence. And often they are interchangeable. You can interchange an infinitive with a gerund. For example, like to win is everything. Which non-finite verb have we used in this sentence? To win is everything. What have we used? Infinitive or gerund?
Ma'am, infinitive.
Alright.
Ma'am,
Yes,
infinitive.
infinitive. So to win is infinitive. It is a to infinitive. Then winning is everything.
Ma'am, it is gerund.
Gerund.
Alright. So winning is gerund. So in both these sentences, see, either you can write to win is everything or winning is everything. So infinitive in these examples, you see that the infinitive and the gerund, they are interchangeable. Means you can use one in place of other. And just see here, both are used as a subject. Now let's see if when they are used as an object. I love to win, I love winning. So basically means one and the same thing, that I love to win and I love winning. So it passes the same message. So we can say that both function as nouns and they are sometimes interchangeable also. Now both infinitive and gerund, they can both act, this we've already seen that both can act as the subject also as well as the object also, or even the complement of the verb. So both can act as subject as well as an object. So this also we have seen. Then see the first example here, breathing means living. See, so both the places we have used a gerund. Breathing means living. Okay, so it can be used as a subject also as well as an object also. And to breathe means to live. So see, they can be used as subjects also as well as an object also. Now sometimes though either infinitive or gerund, they can be used in a sentence, but you know, if we replace one with the other, so sometimes what happens, the meaning, it changes slightly. We have seen, you know, the first thing, that sometimes, or we can say often, they can be interchangeably used. We can use one in place of other, but sometimes when we do that, then what happens, the meaning, it changes a little. Let's see. I forgot to buy fruits. I forgot to buy fruits. What does that mean is that I totally forgot, I did not buy fruits. Alright, I forgot to buy fruits. What it means is that I did not buy the fruits. Okay, I forgot buying fruits. Now see, when we use buying, when we replace the infinitive with gerund, so the meaning, it changes. Now I forgot buying fruits, what it means is that I bought the fruits, but I forgot that I had bought the fruits. So the meaning changes. The first means that I did not buy it altogether. Second says that though I had bought it, but I forgot that I bought the fruits. So sometimes, you know, the meaning, it changes when we change an infinitive with a gerund or vice versa. Now we move on to the third non-finite verb, that is participle. Now a participle is a word, it is a verb, but it can also be used as an adjective. So just like gerund can be called a verb noun, so participle can be called as an verb adjective. It is a verb, it is a non-finite verb, alright, but it also acts as an adjective, so it can also work as an adjective. Now there are two types of participles: present participle, that will always end in ing, and we also have the past participle, that usually ends in ed, t, d, en or n. So participles, they are verbs, but they can be used as an adjective also. Two types of participle: the present participle, which will end in ing, and the past participle, which will usually end in ed, d, t, en or n. Now first let's have a look at the present participle. Now the present participle, what it is the ing form of the verb, and this is used in the formation of all continuous and perfect continuous tenses. So you know, this present participle is the ing form, and whenever we are writing any sentence in a continuous tense or in a perfect continuous, now that can be past continuous, present continuous or future continuous, alright, or even past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous or future, alright. So doesn't matter, whenever you know we are using the continuous tenses or the present or the perfect continuous tenses, what we use the present participle, because we will always use the ing form. Now this present participle, it can also be used, so though it is used in the formation of all continuous and perfect continuous tenses, but it can also function as an adjective. Like see the first example here: barking dogs seldom bite. Now in this sentence, see, barking dogs, dog is what here in this sentence? What part of speech is dog?
And subject. Ma'am, noun.
Noun, right, it is a noun.
Ma'am, noun.
Yes. Now,
Ma'am, noun.
okay, now which types of dogs seldom bite?
Ma'am, barking.
So
Barking.
what
Barking.
is
Barking.
word barking doing here? It is adding something more to the meaning of noun. So what is that verb? Or it is describing a noun.
Adjective.
So it is an adjective. So here barking is working as an adjective. Now just have a look at one more sentence. The dog was barking. Now see, here the present participle is just used as a present continuous tense. That's all. Here is it used as here as an adjective?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
So here it is
Ma'am, it
plainly
is in the end.
used to form the present continuous tense, whereas in the first example it is used as an adjective also. Okay, so let's see the functions. Now the present participle, this we have already done, is used to form the continuous tense form, and like they are playing hockey, we have been waiting for them for 2 hours and all that. So it is used to form the continuous tense. We have already seen that the present participle, it can be used as an adjective. Like one example we have already seen, that barking dogs seldom bite. Then I do not like screaming babies, or I do not like crying babies. So babies is which part of speech here?
Object.
No, no.
Ma'am, object.
Ma'am,
Which
object.
part of speech? We have
Noun.
8 parts of speech. Yes, noun. Okay, so it is a noun.
Noun.
Now, which type of babies I don't like?
I'm crying. Screaming.
Screaming, ma'am.
Babies. So it is adding something more to the meaning of babies, or it is defining babies. So here it is used as an adjective. Okay, I just mentioned parts of speech, and I also mentioned there are 8 parts of speech. Can anyone tell me what are these 8 parts of speech? Hurry up. Just a quick revision. 8 parts of speech. Noun is one. Yes.
Ma'am, pronoun.
Okay.
Ma'am, pronoun, ma'am, adjective,
Conjunction.
ma'am, adverb, ma'am, adverb, ma'am, adverb,
Adverb.
ma'am, verb,
Verb.
Verb.
ma'am, ma'am, conjunction, ma'am, preposition,
Preposition.
Ma'am, preposition. Conjunction.
Conjunction.
ma'am, conjunction,
One is left.
Ma'am, interjection.
Right. Interjection.
No, ma'am.
Alright. So these are the 8 parts of speech. Here babies is noun. It is defining noun. So it is used here as an adjective. Now the present participle, it can be used as a subject also, subject of the verb also, or it can also be used as the object complement of a verb. And so object complement, we have already talked about it, means it will add something more to the meaning of object, or it will tell something more about the object. Now see, it can be used as a subject complement. Subject, if it is used as a subject complement, means then it will tell us something more about the subject. If it is used as an object complement, then it will tell us something more about the object. This chapter is interesting. Here the verb is. Now see, interesting. So what is interesting telling us? Something more about what?
Ma'am, chapter.
ma'am, chapter,
So this chapter is the subject here. So it is telling us something more about the subject. Alright. So here it is used as the
Yes, ma'am.
subject complement. And the second example, I can almost hear you laughing. I can almost hear. Here is verb. What is the object? I can almost hear you.
ma'am, laugh,
No. You is
Ma'am,
the
laugh.
object.
You.
I can almost hear you. So you is the object, and I can hear you how? I can hear you laughing. So laughing is the object complement of the verb here. Alright. Okay. Then present participle is also used in phrases to show a succession of events, means what happened first and after that what happened. Like removing his coat, Mithun jumped into the river. So what he did first? First he removed. It is telling about 2 events. First means first one event happened and then the second one. So first what he did? He removed his coat and then he jumped into the river. Okay. Then these participle phrases, they are also used to show the cause and effect, that because of one thing the second thing happened. Because I was feeling tired, so I went to sleep early. So it is showing cause and effect. What was the cause? Feeling tired was the cause, and what was the effect?
Tired.
Yes, feeling tired was the cause, and what was its effect?
Ma'am, sleep.
that you went to sleep early.
Sleep.
Sleep early. So that was the effect. Okay.
Ma'am, sleeping.
Right. So now we have a comparison between the gerund and the present participle because both end in ing. Both end in ing. So
And there are
now, although two are exactly in form, we have seen that both are non-finite verbs, both end in ing. But gerund, it acts like a noun, whereas the present participle, it acts as an
adjective.
adjective. Okay, adjective.
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 Okay, so now let's have a look at two examples to see the difference. I saw him swimming. Okay, here swimming is used as what? Participle or gerund?
Ma'am, participate.
Present participle.
Participle.
Okay, because I saw him as I saw him what doing what I saw him swimming. So here it is as a present participle, and basically it is here used as an adjective complement. Okay, so you saw him doing what? You saw him swimming. Then the second example, I love swimming. You love something. All right, here
Ma'am, gerund.
Right,
Gerund.
because here it is used as the object of the verb here is love. You love doing what? You love swimming, so it is object. Okay, and we have already seen that gerunds, they can work as both. They can work as subjects also as well as objects also. Now we have the first exercise here. Now determine whether the ing forms of the verbs in these sentences are gerunds or participles. So you simply have to tell that what are these ing forms which have been highlighted, whether they are gerunds or whether they are participle. Let's see. Let's try doing it. Number 1. The drowning man is still trying to swim.
Ma'am, participle.
Ma'am, participle.
Okay.
Participle.
Right.
Ma'am,
Okay.
because ma'am
Ma'am, participle.
Yes,
acting
beta.
as a adjective for the man.
Okay, right. Will you be going rafting when you visit Rishikesh?
Ma'am, I tell
Ma'am,
Ma'am, can I tell Ma'am Myra?
ma'am, may I tell them?
Yes.
Ma'am, I tell you my back.
Ma'am, it's gerund.
Is it gerund? Has anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
When it is gerund, because
No, it is gerund.
acting as a verb here.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is a gerund.
Will you be going
Yes, ma'am.
rafting when you visit Rishikesh? Going rafting.
Ma'am, gerund only. It is gerund only.
Will you be going rafting? Okay, as of now, let's keep it that way. I love reading and swimming.
Ma'am, can I tell Ma'am?
Ma'am, may I tell them?
Ma'am, can I tell Myra? Ma'am, can I tell Myra? Can I tell Myra?
Yes, Amma.
Ma'am, can I tell Myra?
Ma'am,
Myra. Ma'am, gerund.
Okay, both are gerunds. Fourth,
Yes, ma'am.
growing interest rates can result in the number of loans falling.
Ma'am,
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 can I tell Myra? Ma'am, can I tell
ma'am, may I
Myra?
tell
Just
them?
tell the answer. Yes. What do you think?
participle.
Ma'am, participant.
Okay, participle.
Ma'am, participant.
Alright, next. Spending time with one's family is very relaxing.
Ma'am, gerund.
Ma'am, gerund. Ma'am, gerund.
Ma'am, it is gerund. Ma'am, it is gerund.
No, it is not gerund.
Yes, ma'am, participle.
It is participle only. Then even I have a feeling that even will you be going rafting? Rafting also would be participle only. Okay, let's move on. Let's go fishing this weekend. Fishing.
Ma'am, participle.
Ma'am,
Participle.
Ma'am, gerund. Ma'am, participle.
Ma'am, gerund.
Ma'am, gerund.
Ma'am, gerund.
Ma'am, participle. Ma'am, gerund. Ma'am, gerund.
Yes,
Ma'am, gerund.
beta. Okay, don't.
Ma'am, participle.
Yes, who is saying participle? Yes, Karthik. Why do you think it
Ma'am,
is
Prakar.
participle?
Ma'am, because ma'am, weekend is let's go fishing this weekend. Ma'am, because we have to go fishing and weekend is something telling more about fishing. We have to go.
Alright, it is let's go fishing this weekend. Now, fishing here is really participle. It is not used as a gerund here. That's correct. Crying helps us release stress sometimes.
Ma'am, it is a gerund.
Ma'am, gerund. Ma'am, it is gerund. Ma'am, gerund.
Yes, it is plain and simple gerund here. Seeing the heaving crocodile. Heaving.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is a
Participle.
Right, it is
Participle. Participle.
yes, it is a participle. Sheltering thieving juveniles causes harm to one and all.
Participant.
Right,
Ma'am, it is also
participle.
Ma'am, participle.
See here, thieving is participle, but if you have a look at sheltering, now sheltering is
ma'am, verb.
Ma'am, gerund.
gerund. Sheltering is
Gerund.
so we don't have to write
Ma'am,
it.
gerund. Ma'am,
Yes, we don't have to write it. You only have to tell about thieving. But here, sheltering is participle. So, in the first sentence, drowning, participle. Then, rafting also participle. Reading and swimming, both gerunds. Growing, participle. Then, relaxing is also participle. Then, fishing. Fishing also is participle. Crying is gerund. And then heaving and thieving both are used as participles. Okay, so
Excuse me, ma'am.
let's.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, last one, ninth one.
Last
Excuse me,
is
ma'am.
thieving is participle.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, in this exercise, the ninth one, what is written after thieving?
Thieving juveniles.
Okay, ma'am.
Means underage criminals. Those who have yet not attained adulthood. Means they are less than 18 years. Alright.
Okay, ma'am.
So people who do some crimes but underage criminals you can say. So they are called as juvenile. Alright, so I thought we'll do one more exercise but I don't think so. We have enough time.